sloppiness self-inflicted tonight?
Yeah, that's what I thought, and that's not taking anything away from them. They're obviously on a good roll right now, and they're playing good hockey. And they certainly make it hard on you in two different ways. They have a pretty good kind of stretch rush game, and they defend pretty hard. But I just thought we had self-inflicted kind of wounds that we didn't need to. Obviously, you got 2-1 lead with 5 to play in the second. You walk in and you're down 3-2, and it was. Kind of some individualistic mistakes that we just have to be tighter. So we just in these moments, these games are going to get harder and harder and harder, and we got to make sure that you get rid of any kind of self-inflicted errors.
Is the defenseman being too aggressive in some areas, or is it just things?
I wouldn't say like as a whole, but I think there's finding the balance of when you are aggressive. You got to make sure. I wouldn't say that maybe on the one goal, but we just got to make sure we're sound with the puck in those times. When we have that, but just a little bit of carelessness, not a lot, just a little bit of carelessness, a little bit not quite good enough in terms of picking people up, things like that.
Obviously, not all the goals were his fault, but do you have any concerns about Arvid, the way he's been playing lately?
Well, I thought he'd given us some good games prior, and he went through a stretch and not, and then he came out of the break, played pretty good. So this was a tough judge tonight, to be honest with you. So I'll just keep, I got belief in him for sure, and he'll play again this coming week on one of these back-to-back games, and I got lots of belief in him.
Jason Dickinson talked about keeping the game simple. Is it hard when the offense is struggling to get 2 or 3 goals a night to coach guys with a lot of skill that are young to try and simplify things?
Yeah, but I don't know if it was necessarily just our young guys with skill. It's like all of a sudden, I think when you're pressing a little bit, instead of taking what's given, you're hoping there's an extra play because you want to score. And yes, we haven't scored. It's been hard for us to score. But I think when we found success, we took what's given. When you have opportunities to attack, you have to attack. You can't look for a better play unless that better play is way better. And so there's a balance. There's a balance between all of it. You can't get so simple that you never make a play. I just think we're getting in scoring areas and not shooting it when we can.
Already had that stretch where he was attacking the game, as you said, and you said something clicked in him. What will it take to get him back to that with a little bit rougher stretch the past few games?
Well, I think he's attacking it. I think it's the balance now. He was up in the, he had some moments of really attacking it and skating, and now I think it's still you can't give up easy chances while you're doing that. And I don't think it's one or the other. I think he can do both. But he's 20 years old. He's trying to figure that out, and that's a hard thing to figure out. So I just think it's a matter of him understanding that if he's going to attack the game, he's got to make sure he's not giving up goals, because you're not going to get rewarded for enough of them if you're just simply giving up easy goals. And I think that some of the ones that have gone in are easily correctable, and they're not because of a risk-reward thing.
You've got games piled up in the schedule now. Do you have enough time to teach what you'd like to teach?
Yeah, we got to practice tomorrow. We got to practice at least on Wednesday. We probably won't practice Tuesday, so we got enough time. We have meetings every single game, going through game stuff, and so we got enough time. I mean, you always want more practice, but and then obviously in February we get a long stretch where we get practice, number of practices coming up. So some of this too is just learned experience with a number of our guys, and it's you have to go through it sometimes. And as I said to our group, I'm not worried about mistakes. I'm worried about not learning from mistakes. So we got to make sure we learn from the mistakes.
The Largest Moore Donato line seemed to kind of find a groove as the game went on. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job. I thought they all kind of had a little bit of jump going, and they have the fairly talented group, and I thought they all had a little jump. I thought Moore's had a lot of jump, to be honest with you, and he kind of was the engine on that line, which I think he's got to be.
It seemed like things were too sloppy out there tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. We kind of gave them too much. Got a lot off the rush, and that's all generally self-inflicted, so we got to clean that up, do a better job of buying time for numbers to get back to support. They had a lot of 3-on-2, 4-on-2s that just not very typical of us, so definitely something that we should reflect on.
Is there anything you can point to as to why the offense has really kind of dried up these last 4 or 5 games?
Not one thing in particular. What I do notice we were playing very predictable, and now it seems we're trying to make one extra move or one extra play, or where we were getting success was crashing the net or pucks low to high, and then just working systematically through that. And a lot of times we're trying to continue with that, but it feels like we're one step away from it, or we're one bounce away, or one guy's reading a little bit differently than the next. So we're just a little bit disconnected, I'm finding. But I don't have an exact reason or answer as to why that is the case. But it could all stem from just overthinking and trying to do too much and trying to take it upon ourselves instead of just buying into the simpleness that was working.
It seemed like there was a lot of self-inflicted problems out there for you guys tonight. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, leaving the first period with a 2-0 lead and giving up 5 unanswered obviously isn't what we want to do. And I would say a lot of that was self-inflicted, so that's something we got to fix.
Not the result you wanted, but did it feel good to score one with the goalie in the net?
Yeah, I mean, definitely felt good, but we didn't win the game, and that's the most important thing, so that part sucks.
What was it like for you guys to see the kind of alumni come through? What did they say, when they visited?
Yeah, they were just cheering us on and, saying hello to everybody. Obviously, they accomplished a lot when they were here, and it's inspiring for a young group like us to see, what they were able to do here.
Do you feed off that when you see how the crowd reacts to guys who have had so much success in the past year?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the ultimate goal for us in here is we want to win some of those, and like you said, the crowd went pretty crazy for all them. So yeah, it's cool to see.